guys? Monday. How's it going? I did a brew review yesterday. I just forgot to come downstairs and turn the camera on. Sorry. Actually, I got had a family breakfast, which was cool. We've been doing that a lot more lately. Then me and Samantha's boyfriend went out to the shack because we wanted to well, I really wanted to see the super chronograph work. I have to say, I don't know how many of you guys have ever used a traditional style one. The things I'm learning about this, very impressive. First of all, it has a gigantic window that you can shoot through. The weather and lighting doesn't affect it at all. I understand that the one with the rods is optical, so you can get, I guess it can mess up your readings or its ability to read. This doesn't care. Just make sure that you have that it's at least downrange by 10 feet. Make sure it's parallel with the barrel. It's got a little set of like gun sights on it. So if you're shooting at your target and the thing is, can be up to, I think it's 51 inches below the axis of the bullet, or the flight path of the bullet. And I definitely, now that I'm getting into reloading, this is going to be very helpful. It'd be someone that I know that has some issues with chronographs, Jay from Elite Ammunition. I'd be really interested in what your thoughts were on an acoustic based one. Maybe if we get a chance to do some shooting, I'd like to know. $350, a little bit more than the cheapest offering of a regular chronograph, but then again, Jay pointed out that unless you spend money and get one, all the rest of them are questionable, which is why I'd really like to know your feedback if you ever had the chance to use something like this. What are we looking at today? There's more, but I know how you guys get. You're only here for the beer. So we're going to be looking at celebrating 30 years with Bell's. This is their 30th anniversary Imperial Stout, and it is 11%. Yeah, it really doesn't say anything other than they're patting themselves on the back. Love stuff from Bell's, except for the Oyster Stout, Evil Neil. And they even have a snazzy old 30th bottle cap. But before I open this, I want to say thank you to my friend Tom. You know who you are. Sent me a Christmas card with pictures of you in your underwear, wearing nothing but your work hat. I mean, I'm not sure it fell under tasteful or not, but I mean you look happy in the picture. I'm just kidding. It was a nice Christmas card. But he sent me a Kershaw Shuffle. Like, okay. It's in lime green, which means as soon as Christine sees it, she's probably going to want one, or this one. It's typical of a Kershaw, out of the box. You can definitely shave with it. Now, I'm not a knife expert, but I'm going off of the way this blade looks. I'm guessing it's a stoned wash appearance. I don't know. I know Chuck would know. He's just a bigwig when it comes to knives now. Has a belt clip and a lanyard And I was looking at this going, awesome. I can take, because the other thing I showed you the other day and I put it into use is the key bar. Basically, it turns your keys into like a multi-purpose tool, and been using it. Oh yeah, you know, the biggest problem is you get some keys that are all bent up, but by the way it's positioned, half of them will sit on one half and not really bother the other set, and then just find the one that you want and right there. And I tried to position them so that like this, I needed both of them. I got one for my work keys, which has got different property keys on it, and the shop, and you know, Bobcat and that kind of shit. And this one, which was the house, which we've changed almost everything over to keyless, but in case you do need a key, I've got them on here, the mailbox and that kind of thing. It really worked slick, but that means I abandoned my little lanyard with the Pica, whatever the hell the little dude is playing the flute. He's also a bottle opener, and I'm like, I'll just tether him onto this. And then I'm sitting here looking at this going, now this has not been attempted. I'm assuming that this is, in fact, a bottle opener. Tom, like for a second you're acting like you know me. So the shuffle, I'm a big fan of Kershaw, and I actually hadn't heard of this one. It kind of is set up so, I mean, you get dangerously close there if you want to actually use that as another one of the finger grooves, so you get more of your fingers on it. But yeah, it's like a typical of a Kershaw. It actually feels like you have something in your hand, but it's not super heavy. Just a little something that Heffy's also used to. Okay. So I had 3 things that absolutely I wanted to bring out, kind of a proving ground thing. Yesterday it hit a high of, I think, 21, which was obviously better than the 8 the day before. I definitely wanted to get out and get some initial thoughts on the chronograph, but I had 3 things sitting here that absolutely had to get out, that I needed to be part of the proving grounds. Having some issues with the Palmetto State 308, and unfortunately I have to declare that that is unresolved. I'm not even sure where to go with it as of right now. I actually was able to pull the trigger. I think I got 3 entirely of all the attempts I made. I had 3 shots and no repeats. Single shot only. Would not cycle. Would not. Then you'd find the next round in place, and when you pulled the trigger, you'd hear the hammer hit something anyway, and when you ejected the round, there was no primer mark. There was no, it wasn't a light primer strike. It was nothing. Like the firing pin was not moving. But now I can pull the carrier out, push the bolt in, push forward on the firing pin, and see it poke through the hole. So that was a fail, and I'm kind of pissed off about that, because that was one of the things to use on the chronograph. I went with the ego and said, okay, by getting that firing pin retainer in there captured, that was the problem, and I did not bring the I did not bring the JP out with me. So I had a bunch of 308 and had a really nice dress and nowhere to go with it. So let's get Oh, the darkness level. Let's skip the Firefly and start off that with low, medium, high. You can kind of see it coming around the glass, but turbo. So no, light does not make it through this beer. Deep roasted malts, like a thick molasses smell to it. Oh, some chocolate, a little bit of coffee. I'm not really getting a whole bunch of coffee on it. What you're getting is like a really thick roasted, like, you know, like good coffee, like some Folgers shit or something like that. All right, cheers, guys. Ooh. Wow, just gobs of flavor. Definitely a medium plus mouthfeel. Notice a subtle sweetness, and honestly, not a lot of flavor at first. You kind of notice a subtle sweetness, and then the flavors just start to pour on. The heavy roasted, deep roasted malts, kind of bringing that kind of molasses flavors with it. Kind of that burns off, and you're kind of getting a tail end. You're getting a little bit more of that, plus like a deep milk chocolate, and a like a darker chocolate or something with that in the background too. %. Not, there's no booziness. Hate to go full tilt, and yeah, there's more. You know, check the old burn. You know, light the thruster switch and let's go for a full burn. Maybe a little bit of a alcohol warming to it, but wow, a very well contained 11%. Let's just think about that for a moment. Got a package in today from NIHAP. Three beers. Drank one already. A couple of Bengalis and a 4-bean. He sent me 23 pieces of 50 AE. Oh, had that out yesterday. Oh my God, Johnny, if you're watching and not on another fucking Caribbean cruise somewhere, that I brought out a bunch of Jim gave me Hornet Fixer, or as John affectionately calls him, Greybush. Gave me, hey, what are you doing? Come here. Want to say hi to Tom? Huh? Want to say hi to Tom and everybody else? You know, you've always got the same look, like, put me down! Put me down, goddammit! I'm not a rocket scientist, I'm a damn dog, and I've got something to go lick. Want a kiss? Huh? yes, my baby. Yes. Oh. Yeah, why don't you go vacuum yourself or something? Mmm. Mama's making baked ziti and it's smelling good. Damn right. Yeah, so easily distracted. The shells. A couple of. He always sends me some brew news, Yankee brew news. What's this one? Ale Street News. It's kind of cool. Go through and look at the pictures. Oh, she's okay. I mean, read the articles on the brew stuff, and then I should probably double check with you, but you sent an empty case. If you see this and there was something in the case, you better call me. So, yeah. That leg tastes good? What else? The other two things that went out. Well, John was wondering if the chronograph could catch the speed of a .22 long rifle, and I thought I read something in their own paperwork, but you know what it is measuring is it's got the two microphones, and it is measuring, you know, each one of them as it hears the sonic boom as the bullet goes by, and then math happens in between. That's how it works. I did not get a reading on a .22. I was getting readings on 45 ACP, and at one point I was questioning the readings that I was getting, but I think I might have been closer than the recommended distance. I noticed that I was like less than the 10 feet, so that might have made a difference, because in theory you could have had it halfway down the range. I mean, I could have had it all the way down at the target. I think that's a dangerous thing, but it could be done. The other two things that were on the proving grounds for me, and I guess I'll start with the one that has been asked about. Harleys and Barleys. You asked me about the Rock Island, and as you can see, there is brass smudges all over it, because I put 50, 60, I suppose I put at least 100 rounds through it yesterday. Flawless. Love this pistol. My only recommendation is, and I won't mention any names, someone who I watch his reviews, and usually everything that he says is spot on, but these are the stock ones. These are Mekgar, I think. I should know the answer to this. I bought a whole bunch of these, and I also bought some Wilson Combat, and the Wilson Combat is shit. Just saying. If you happen to have the Rock Island chambered in 10mm, go with the OEMs, which I believe are made by Mekgar, because the Wilson Combat, I don't like the way these have the rubber bumpers on them. I just think they're a lot better. But yes, ran flawlessly. Just compared to the 45, maybe sometimes people turn into recoil freaks, kind of like Christine. But I just absolutely love the punch of the 10mm. So, Harleys and Barley, As of 100 rounds, there wasn't a. I had one problem. And I'm not sure if I'm using all or any of the range footage between the weather, the cold, and whatever. I had a round, and I had two fails with the 50 AE actually too, and they were both on reloads. A fail to fire with a pretty decent primer hit on it, and the same as with this. I had a round that looked like the projectile. I don't know if it was one that I had been goofing with and it had been chambered more than once and it had gotten pushed down in the shell a little ways, but there was definitely a sharp edge on the where the bullet and the shell meet each other, and I believe that it hit the feed ramp and it either caused it to bounce off of it, but it didn't feed right, and the bullet. It was obviously an issue with the round, because those were I shot over 50 rounds of my brother-in-law's reloads, and that happened on one of those. And then after that, I shot out an entire box of factory stuff, and it never duplicated. So just, not to mention, it just fucking looks like I just kicked RoboCop's ass and took his gun, bitch. You know what I'm saying? I love this thing. And of course, if you're following along, and by the time you see this, another installment of what else could we do possibly to this. It was proving time, and I had no idea where the gas is. I had really honestly figured that it would shoot. Take a mag, put one round in it, pull the trigger, and you should obviously end up seeing this. You should get locked back. And my first shot, I got locked back, and so I actually had to. I had just taken a guess on the gas, so I turned it down one full turn and fired it, and I did not get locked back. And I turned it a half a turn, and I got and it ran successfully after that. And Travis gave me some Tula shit, and I ran a bunch of Tula through it, because if it'll run on Tula, it'll run on anything. So after, literally, I think it took me 3 shots to get it dialed in, and then after that, and I've been asked about this. I don't know if any of you guys are following it, because if you read the forums, EOTech falsified a bunch of information, and they've got a problem with the accuracy of their, evidently the reticle moves around under extreme heat and extreme cold, basically probably what military would do. And I guess if you put in a request, they will reimburse you what you paid for it, and 15 additional dollars. Now, I'm not exactly sure how it's supposed to work in a scenario like mine, where it was a gift, because I don't have a receipt to show them. But to be honest, I mean, if it's going to fail, that's one thing. But I looked at forum after forum after forum, and it more often than not, guys were saying that this is like an extreme, like the kind of shit that the military goes through. A firefight in a fucking desert where it's as hot as the wash from an F-16, and then something goes wrong. And I don't know. I've never had an issue with it out there. I was ringing steel at 100 yards, and this is not what I anticipated this thing to be doing. This is, first of all, it is fun. It is the most fired thing when it goes out to the range. The fun factor on this is the highest. Everybody wants to shoot it. Everybody that has shot it has absolutely Loved it. And for what I wanted something that was basically a high-end heads-up display. I mean, you could get like some of these cheap-ass ones, and it's just not what I wanted on here. So, like I said, I found a whole bunch of shit at forums, and they were basically just saying, this is like the fail rate is being experienced on the extreme ends of the spectrum. A firefight in Antarctica and the desert. So I don't know. Any thoughts? Any of you own EOTechs and fall under the recall? I mean, I guess as opposed to getting my money back and going somewhere else, if it actually was like this huge ash issue, I would rather have another one that supposedly didn't have whatever the problem is. I don't know. It's never works well with trying to capture the. I got it set up as co-witness, and like pretty much like I always do because of my shitty ass eyes, I made the dot on the end white. So as of this moment in time, as stupid as it is, I mean, I realize if it's actually going to fail, and you know it's going to fail, to have a $600 item, then it probably should either be replaced. But as of right now, there isn't anything that I want sitting here other than this. So it's not like I want to put an aim point or an ACOG or something on here. I mean, okay, who am I kidding? If Chuck wanted to send me an ACOG, I would take it. But, so, this thing, absolutely. Yeah, it's just, it has gotten so light. It's amazing. Love it. So, 10 millimeter, 100%. Little guy, 100%. And unfortunately, the 308 shitville. Just if I had another 308 bolt carrier to try in it, I would. And yeah, I know, but the JP is not compatible with the DPMS style. So, non-factor. Otherwise, I'd maybe. I don't want to part out the baby, but no, it's isn't gonna happen. If I had another one, I'd give her a try, but I don't know what the hell else it could be. I don't know if it's just not, if it's not fully engaging and it's staying locked back up just a little bit, and the firing pin is hitting, but it's not becoming, you know, the bolt. I don't know. I'll have to double check it and see if there's like some burrs or something, and if it's fully locking up and engaging. It certainly looks like it is. But it's pretty suspicious when you don't even have a mark on it. Like, why is it fire on one shot, and then the very next one doesn't even leave a primer mark? Right now, JR10's going, well, it's obvious that it's the blah 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 blah. Send. I feel like Imperial stouts. Like I said, it's not super ass sweet. It's not JR10 kind of sweet, but there is a little sweetness at the beginning. It never gets dry or bitter, and it's just intensely packed full of those flavors. The roasted malts and molasses and chocolate, and I'm sure they probably have coffee in there, but it is definitely way at the back of the room. This is This is, if you're if you like Imperial stouts and you've been searching for one with very, very little, if any, coffee characteristic to it, this is it right here. I'm gonna go finish this with some baked ziti. On the E scale, not even playing. It's a 10. It's a 10 all day long. Hats off to Bell's. If you're gonna celebrate 30 years of brewing, Miles will do it with a knockout blow. So if you can find Bell's in your area and you like Imperial stouts, I'm gonna have to go see if I can find some more of this and put some out there. Couple people Glockgeist. I got a package that has to get out to you, but with especially in my area right now, between the cold and the fact that if I were to mail my next door neighbor a letter and it has to go to the cities before it comes back here, I'm gonna have to belay your thing, but I'll make it worthwhile. I'll throw one of those in there along with the other thing that you were asking about. So, otherwise, Tom, thank you. I don't know if he's would ever see any of the videos over here, but if you are looking for a very, very convenient way of storing your keys, the only really problem that I even ran into was, well, my mailbox key has a paddle on it like this, and I just actually cut it down so that it wouldn't be sticking out into this, but it comes between every single, there's O-rings to keep it tight, and there's they send just a shit ton of little spacers, and if you want to forego a key, like if you have, say, 4 keys on one side and 5 on the other, and you want, and you can, there's a lanyard thing, so you could maybe put like your key fob or like I was gonna do and put my bottle opener, but if I'm gonna carry this on me, then there's no reason to have another opener, because it also is an opener, which makes me say thank you to Tom. And again, a thank you to NIHAP for the empty case and the poop material and some 50 AE. I think I found most of them yesterday, but oh my god, that was so much fun. Well, did I ever actually even finish that story? The reloads that Jim sent me, he told me they were hot. Now, on the other hand, the Underwood ammo, of course, thank you, JR10, initially for turning me on to Underwood. Underwood, and again, it's not plus P. Underwood just loads it right. There's not a bunch of pussies like Obama working at Underwood. The Underwood, Underwood has endlessly impressed me. 9mm, 10mm, 50 AE. I'm gonna have to see if Underwood, it'd be nice if Underwood started making 5.7, but then again, I got a guy that does that. I just have to actually get a chance to shoot it. Again, Jay, if we get together, I'd like to know your thoughts on this, and hopefully it wouldn't end with you putting 20 holes in this. Okay, guys. We'll see you tomorrow, and tomorrow let's look at Duchette's Pine Drops IPA. What is the alcohol? What's the juice on this? 70 IBUs, perfect 6.5%. A little bit of alcohol, and closer we get to 100 on the IBUs on an IPA for me, the better. Okay. Outstanding. I mean, the American flag, that is. So, Cheers, guys. See you tomorrow.